Hi, I'm Midi. I'm the guy who was just on doing Mario Kart DS, and I'm back doing Super Mario 3D World now. We're going to be doing any percent today, 3D World. There is, of course, Bowser's Fury in this game, but we are going to be doing base 3D World today. So we're just going to get straight into it. I've already said my piece last time, so let's go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1, go. So, to start off here, I'm going to be using Toad, and we are going to be skipping the intro, which is about 1:40. We would have had to sit through that on Wii U. There are a lot of Wii U Switch differences, which I will be talking about in this run. So, first off, I'm going to be grabbing this cat suit using gyro controls I will get to in a moment. But what we're going to be doing is grabbing these cat suits. It will allow us to open up a lot more movement options than itemless. So we're just going to dive straight down here. We're going to grab this star from the bunny. I'm going to use gyro again to touch the star, grab it early, and lots of things that I'll be coming on to in a moment. But first off is the big thing to talk about. Now, I am grabbing stars here, which is not normal for any percent speedruns, but here we are going to need 170 to complete the game. So they're making sure we're grabbing low on the flagpole as well, because this is one of the rare Mario games where actually grabbing low on the flagpole does save time, because the Bowser flag doesn't actually lower, it just disappears. So getting 3 stars there, very quick stars, and a lot of stars we are going to be grabbing. Some of them we will be missing that are very slow. We will get to those when the time comes. For now, a lot of the early stars are very quick though. So here, again, using Toad. Toad, there are different character differences between characters in this game. Oh, that was interesting. More stuff that's never happened before. First, we have 0.000 in Mario Kart DS for a clear. And now we get grabbing a shell and keeping momentum. Okay. Again, I'm not going to question it. We're going to keep the thing going. Don't question it, just go with it. So here we need to hit all these Koopas. There we go. And what is faster is if I grab the star using gyro. So the gyro controls replace what were touch controls on the Wii U. So the Wii U had, and here I'm going to tap that Koopa, grab that shell, throw it over there, grab that final star, and then use the warp pipe to go straight to World 2. So on the Wii U version, we would have had the touchscreen on the gamepad to do things like stun enemies, grab stars early, to skip the star rising animation. Whereas here, there is no gamepad. You can use touch controls on the Switch's tablet, but in terms of actually capturing your console for recordings, it's a lot easier to use gyro. And also gyro is better, because it doesn't require you to take a hand off of the controller. You can just use the gyro by pressing R on your controller, and also L to recalibrate it, which is what I'll be doing a lot. Now here, again, character differences. Toad runs really fast, but we also have 3 others. So Luigi, of course. Luigi's known for being a bit slippery in most games that he's in, or most modern games where there are different traits. That is a bit worrying, but that's okay. We're fine. We did not fall off. Yeah, so Luigi's actually able to jump quite high. There we go, nice. Gonna have to wait for Captain Toad to spawn in a star here. So, because Luigi jumps quite high, we're able to do this movement option called vectoring quite well. Almost fell off there. We are absolutely fine though. And I'm actually gonna wait a little bit because getting a 1, 3, or 6 on the end of the timer will give us fireworks, which is gonna be slow. Costs us a few seconds. Nothing too major, but it's worth avoiding. So, using Luigi, we're able to do vectoring, which is basically jumping at 30-degree angles, optimally, to build up a lot of speed. Wii U had stuff called cap momentum, so there were a lot of options that didn't exist in the Wii U version that do here, such as the ZL plus the dash button to dive or do a little cat scratch forward, which is what I'm doing basically at the beginning of every level. You can also do that in the air, which is sort of referred to as like an Odyssey dive almost. It's kind of borrowed from Super Mario Odyssey, which came out after this port. from the Wii U to the Switch version. So there's a lot of things that are exclusive here, and yeah, it kind of obsoletes cat momentum because there's no need to use cat momentum because, one, the base speed of all the characters in this game is higher than the Wii U version, and two, there are kind of other options like vectoring, and also there's a more advanced option called crouch boosting. We're just going to do things like that, hit the P switch for no reason particularly. It doesn't really do much, we just do it for fun while you're waiting around. So again, waiting for this star from Captain Toad, and then finish off the level. Go in the door, that would be helpful. So lots of things for us to be remembering, lots of stuff for us to be doing at the beginning here. Using Toad to run around on this level is very efficient. And yeah, a lot of the time save in this run comes from things like cutscene skips and also the faster movement. So other character differences, we also have Peach. So Peach has her float, which means we can preserve momentum and also basically float in the air as an extra addition to the jump. And then Mario also exists. So Mario would only be used on this level if we were doing something like a 380-star run, because we also need stamps for the most part. And there is a single stamp switch in the entire game that requires you to use Mario. If you are not using Mario, you cannot grab that stamp switch. So you can't 100% the level. So here we will be going through, again, another very focused running level. But here we're going to be using Gyro to kind of cheat this room. So there are rainbow panels here. I'm going to use Gyro to hit them all. I'm also going to go straight back in the pipe. We're going to hopefully grab this green star using one of the balls, again with Gyro, and then fall into this pit. There is a way of just falling straight through that gap, but it is kind of hard. And then here, as long as I'm holding ZL, which I was not, we'll go straight in the pipe. And here we should be getting... Ooh, I was going to get 447 there, but unfortunately missed the flagpole. That means we might as well wait for 445 to avoid those fireworks for the 6. Next up is a mystery house. So the mystery houses are not required. There are levels here that are not required, such as mystery houses, Captain Toad levels. But we will be playing all of them. All 4 that feature as mystery houses, all 4 that feature as Captain Toad levels. In the first 8 worlds. They alternate, so the even-numbered worlds will have mystery houses, the odd number will have Captain Toads. So these might seem like a bit of a detour, but it's going to give us 5 extra green stars, which means we won't need to play extra full levels. And you'll see very quickly that these are very fast. So here, using Gyro to make those go from 2 HP down to 1. Here, using Gyro to hit that Koopa Shell. A little bit better than 1-2. 1-2 was a bit of a mess. Only cost me a few seconds, but it was a mess. So hit both of these there. And also, there was a backup catsuit here. I do have backup catsuit levels in mind should we lose a cat at any point. However, in this game, it's a lot less costly than the Wii U version because you can do itemless strats. Itemless wasn't really much of a thing on Wii U. There was Mario % no power-ups, which is using Mario on every level and no power-ups. However, here, it's a lot more expansive because of the fact that itemless has stuff like crouch boosting and vectoring. So I should talk about crouch boosting a little bit more. Crouch boosting is a lot faster than vectoring, especially on some levels where you can make certain cycles, or faster cycles than you would with vectoring. So every time you crouch, you essentially get a little burst of speed for a few frames. If you jump during those few frames and also let go of crouch before you jump, you will obtain or you will preserve that momentum. So if you keep doing that over and over, you will get ridiculous speeds. If you look at the top runs, especially world record, you will see that to a massive extent. However, here I'm not going to be doing any crouch boosting. It's just yeah, it's very risky, and if you miss, you're going to end up with stuff like long jumps and stuff like that. So there's a very possible chance of long jumping off stages and things like that. So you don't want to be doing that. Here we are going to be doing very nicely done there. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is... Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so basically we needed a clone for that first P switch. Actual P P pads or whatever they are in this game, like the full on like P floors, rather than actual tiny P switches. They all require clones, so you can either use multiple characters, which is not allowed in base any percent right now, or you can use clones with the double cherry, which is exclusive to or new in this game. This is the first game it features in. However, for that last one, we don't actually need to use the forklift. We can literally just climb the wall. That was the thing on Wii U. However, in this game, it's even easier because we can climb for longer. So, whereas on Wii U, you would have had to press ZL and then re-grab the wall, which is pretty simple. Instead, all we need to do is just climb for the entire thing. So you do have 2 sets of stamina when you're climbing with the cat. You have the main one, and then you have a slight burst after you've let go of the wall or re-grabbed it. And then on the 3rd one, you just start falling slowly. So this is a very slow level, not much to talk about here. We do have some auto-scrollers in this run. This is the first big one we're going to see. But the key here is to keep hold of this cannon box. The cannon box is required to grab star 3. If I take damage, that includes if I take damage to myself, which is possible, very possible. I know this from experience. I feel like everyone at this point knows that from experience. If you've run this game and you've not lost a run to getting hit on 2-Castle, what are you doing? So, yeah, it's not the end of the world in a marathon because we have lots of backups. And especially with this version compared to the Wii U version, there are lots of backup levels we can grab extra stars in. Which I will get onto route differences later on. So here we just can tap that crate, grab the star. And another thing we have is stamps. So I haven't really mentioned them so far. Basically, stamps are a relic of the Wii U version. Stamps would be not required for any percent. Here, we can grab it, however, we would get an extra screen. So there's no reason to do that. And that extra screen would cost us several seconds after the level. So yeah, very bad to do that. Don't do that. And that's the wall we needed the cannon box for. You cannot get into there without a cannon box or something like a bob-omb, which there isn't any on this level. So here, we need to hit boom boom 3 times, classic boss fight. The first 2 hits, we want to hit him on the head, and then the last one, we want to hit him with the cat. Just to save fractions of time. And I actually don't want to keep this cannon box, so we are going to get rid of it. And that's the boss fight. So here, we're going to see a lot of these exactly the same big stairs, where we're just going to be doing pretty much the same thing over and over. Oh, unfortunately, getting a climb there. So basically, the way that works, hopefully it won't happen too often, but basically, if you're holding any direction when you grab the flagpole, you will climb it. And you cannot cancel that. Once you've started climbing, you will use the entire rest of your stamina to climb the rest of it. So gold flagpoles are a little bit slower generally, unless we are really high on the flagpole, in which case we might as well just grab gold flagpole. It's very situational, but normally we want to get as low as possible. Moving on to World 3, we have 3-1. 3-1 is an interesting level. We have Ice Momentum to use. So Ice Momentum is, again, carried over from Wii U. Wii U was a little bit more polarizing because the base speed was lower, but we can still use it to our advantage here. We're going to use Toad because why not make it even faster? So we're going to run at the beginning. I'm going to grab this snowball. I missed the snowball, but that's fine. We will just get in the wall, grab that, and then I'm going to do a couple of crouches here and then go over to the ice here, grab this star. So yeah, basically by mashing crouch there, you build up a ton of speed. We have grabbed a snowball here, so that's fine. We can just grab this stars using snowballs, which we could have done in that gap earlier, but it's not the end of the world that we didn't. So grabbing low on the flagpole, finishing off the level very, very fast when you know what you're doing. So that is one of the levels where you can actually clear it very, very fast if you're not grabbing any stars, because you can just zoom straight to the pipe at the end. But, of course, we are still grabbing stars there because they're fairly quick in the grand scheme of things. Here we have a Bowser statue, or we can play it 3-3. Now, 3-2, which is hidden by that Bowser statue, is the only level here with a cat suit. So, unfortunately, we're not playing it. However, it's a really long 2 or 3 minute auto-scroller, so absolutely no way we're playing that. So, we're moving on with Toad here. This is one of the first big character divergences between runners. So, it's really hard to find two runners that use the same character combinations. But here I'm going to be using Toad because he's a lot easier to finish this level fast with compared to someone like Luigi using vectoring or crouch boosting. So there I did bookshelf skip. So each bookshelf is in groups of 2. The actual object is in groups of 2. So by grabbing the wall there and then letting go and immediately diving, so pressing ZL essentially, or whatever your let go button of choice is. Yeah, by pressing ZL at that moment, we are able to dive in the other direction and then just get the correct bookshelf to disappear. There are 2 above it, 2 sets of bookshelves above it, which would be slower to go for those because you also need to go above and you need to not bonk on the top bit. So it's just a lot easier once you're used to the trick to do the trick, and it saves a few seconds too, which is always nice. Next up is 3-CT, and the Captain Toad levels are a precursor to actual Captain Toad. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was a Wii U game, and it's also been ported to 3DS and Switch. All the differences have, all the versions have a little difference or 2. Similar to this game really, with touch controls. So we are still going to play the level. Each Captain Toad level has 5 green stars. So I'm still going to use the little, it's a tiny optimization, but basically even when I'm using the same character, I am pressing B to unselect and then reselecting. That is again carried over from Wii U, and that saves a fraction of time on each level. But again, I don't know, a few tenths of a second on each level. There are a lot of levels in this run, so that does save a lot of time. Now, this is one of the levels which would benefit from having multiple controller strats. So right now, multiple controllers are banned in any percent. However, okay, this pipe just doesn't work sometimes. We will go up, even though I was holding up, I swear. So multiple controllers would allow you to have 2 players. One over there in the water, in the corner, and the other one on the spawn point. And when you're using multiple controllers, you can use multiple controllers to bubble. So if you press L and R at the same time, you will bubble to the person. And if you unbubble when you get to this grass bit that we were just on, where that clear pipe is, essentially you skip having to do what is a very linear stage. And you could do that 2 times here and save a bunch of time. Now, the only issue with that is that it's banned in any percent right now because multiple controllers are banned. However, that might become an old thing because what is being worked on right now is an out-of-bounds clip in World 8, which allows you to sequence break the game and play a level you wouldn't be able to normally. I will get onto that later though. I will get onto that in World 4, hopefully. If not, we will in World 8. So they're using the map to warp rather than the warp pipe because, funnily enough, the green pipes are very slow. So we will be using the world map to warp, and that saves a few seconds for that one specifically. Pretty much every opportunity we'll be doing that. And then here, this is one of the first green stars we're going to skip. So in that cloud in the distance was a bonus area. Essentially, it's a massive area where you just have to run left to right. It's slow because the thing is, it's a detour where you're not making any progress in the level. There are some stars that look slow, but really, you're having to progress in the level anyway, so they're not actually that slow as detours themselves. So here we're getting a mini-boss. We did have a mini-boss earlier as well, which was the big Galoombas. And similar to the small Galoombas, we're able to just use touch controls on them. We can use touch controls on Cam-X too, but then they only have 1 HP anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Again, base speed has been increased, so it's very easy to just wipe them all out in one cycle. And then next up is 3-5. There's a roulette block here that I can grab a catsuit from. However, I am not experienced with the timing, so whether we get it or not, I don't know. If I manage to pop it with the catsuit, then I will go back and grab it. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So we might as well use Toad here because he's fast for these little running sections, but these are mainly water. And that's a mushroom, so unfortunately no catsuit there, but that's okay. So here, when I'm in the water, or at least touching the water on the surface, what we can do is a deep dive. So I can hold the dive button, and as long as I'm doing that the whole time before the dive happens, then we will get a deep dive, which allows us to progress in the level a lot faster than normal dives, which are about half the distance. We can use small dives sometimes, but normally deep dives are good. So there's another green star we're going to skip here. Doing another deep dive, very good. So I'm actually going to point to it using the cursor, which is quite handy. Up there is a little hole where I can grab a cannon box, and also the stamp is. Obviously, I wouldn't grab that. There is a hole in the wall, and if I use the cannon box to break that hole in the wall, we'd be able to go into a gold bonus area, which is slightly different to the cloud ones, which just has a bunch of coins and a star. It's not the most slow, but you do have to detour twice for it, so it kind of is worth getting rid of. I'm fairly sure on my Wii U route, I actually did grab that star, but again, that is because we played slightly less levels on Wii U. Again, more on that later. So not really much divergence on that level. The only thing you can really do is just run fast at the beginning and at the end, and that's it really. All the water is quite set. I mean, that's the same as most Mario games, to be fair. So unfortunately, we're going to be skipping the best level in the game, Mount Mustache, because that's sadly not on the path, so we don't have to play it. But there was a point in time where I was using it as a good backup level. So here, we're going to be using Toad again. This is Switchboard Falls. Good thing to note early, if I am holding a different side of the switchboard to Toad, the gyro will take priority, because apparently the gyro is all powerful in this game. However, I do need to make sure the gyro is actually holding on the boost pad rather than getting stuck by an obstacle or something. So here we're going to try and do a little shortcut, and there are a lot of death barriers here, so if I get hit that will be very bad, because not only would we die, we would have no catsuits for the next level, which is very bad. We're skipping Green Star 1 as well, it was in that green pipe earlier. It's just a massive fall down from the ceiling. Pretty slow. So here we're just going to grab the green star on the way past, and then fall down. As long as I do that little movement, that was clean at the end. As long as I do that little movement of the new Odyssey dive, it makes you fall very fast. So doing that allows you to, yeah, you pretty much just fall there without getting the landing animation. In some Mario games, there is a landing animation where if you fall from a great distance, you will do like a... It's almost like an acrobatic finish sort of thing. That's the only way I can describe it. In Mario Odyssey, you get stunned. But if you do that movement, you actually do not get that animation, which saves a little bit of time. So here, this is a Peach level. We're going to be using Peach here because it's actually faster to skip across the trains between the tracks. The other one is mainly for show, except when we get to the green pipe, we can actually get to the other side. However, we can skip between them. If I die here, it's pretty common that I die here. I'm not the best at this trick, but I might as well try and pull it off. There we go. We are managing to do that part. Make sure I grab this green star, and then we're going to get on the other side. The further right you do this, the more camera you skip. I only do 3 right now, but it is better to do more. And then here I'm going to keep mashing on the crate there. Now this is a funny green star grab. So you can actually grab that green star early if you have the character you're using in front of the... oh, did in the wrong movement there by accident. That's fine. If you have the character sitting in front of where the star's going to spawn. Because the star spawns over the void in the background where the clouds are. You can only really do it if you're holding very precisely on the gate, or if your character's in the way. Unfortunately, it didn't do it there, but that's fine. So here, I have already finished the boss fight, but basically at the beginning, if you do a rolling long jump into the boss, you will get a free hit. And then on the others, all you need to do is work out which one is the real pom-pom. There is a way of doing that, which is different to Wii U. So Wii U, on cycles... I'm going to wait here for fireworks. Avoiding 1 and 3 is kind of hard, but yeah, threading the needle, getting the 2 there, very nice. So the way of telling in this version is a little different coloured particle for the correct one. But on Wii U, second and third cycles would have the smoke lowered for the correct one, which sometimes wasn't immediately obvious, especially later on when we rematch Pom-Pom and there are like 8 or 9 clones. But it is still possible to do it in this game. I did not get either of them there, but that's okay. Moving on, we have this strange object coming down for us. This is Histocrat. And Histocrat comes down very dramatically, but this is probably the least dramatic boss in the game. And I'm talking like boom boom levels. So the reason for that is we can skip him. Now, this boss is supposed to spawn in snakes that will either have plates on them, or if they don't have plates, then they will just try to bite you if you climb up them. Now, those plates do have catsuits on. If I wanted a catsuit at the beginning, what I could do is go to that question mark block, and there is a catsuit in there. But all I need to do is do a ground pound or a spin jump, and then do an Odyssey dive on his face. And that's it. We got to do this 3 times. I do have to wait a little bit as well, just to make sure I don't get hit. Unfortunately missing that one, but that's okay. The first hit, he will actually turn really far, like all the way round. So you can get hit on that one. But even then, if we didn't have catsuit, we can do an Odyssey rolling dive, which acts more like Mario Odyssey than the cat does. Of course, the cat's not in Mario Odyssey. That's why it feels weird to call this Odyssey dive. But when we don't have catsuit, which I'm sure will happen at some point, unless I have a cracked run, get the flagpole. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen at some point. But yeah, when that happens, you'll see. So, moving on to World 4. Lots of weird routing going on from now. So, on Wii U, we would have done 4-1, 3 green stars. 4-2, 3 green stars. And then we would grab the warp pipe on the same playthrough. Same as we did 1-1, 1-2. And then we'd move on. However, here, we need to get to 4- Mystery House. So, that Mystery House does not hold 5 green stars. It holds 10 green stars. 5 green stars appear in 2MH and 6MH. However, 4 and 8 have 10. So they are vital to grab. We are going to get onto that in a moment, but basically there was a way of doing an out of bounds clip in World 8 where essentially you would climb on the clear pipe in the world map, which we will see later on, of course, when we get there. You would then fall past World 7 into World 4, and then you would land on the island that the Mystery House is on, because Mystery Houses and Captain Toad levels are unlocked from the beginning of the game. So if you can sequence break to them, you can get there, and you can play them. So here we're just going to dive down. And here we're going to do a damage boost strat, hopefully. There is another catsuit if I wanted it, but unfortunately, we're going to have to bypass it, because I need to get on this wall. Little bit low for comfort there, but that's okay. And that's fine, we can do a little roll just to back it up. Grab these coins for fun. And that saves quite a lot of time. So we are grabbing a catsuit to instantly lose it again. However, that saves fairly decent time for us to do it. Yeah, nice one to be hitting there. And then thankfully on 4-2 there is a roulette block where we can grab a catsuit. And that one has a consistent timing that I actually know. So we will hopefully be doing it now. Good thing is we do still have a catsuit. So again, 4-2, because we can't do that world map out of bounds in this version, or not the way it used to be, we're going to have to do some extra levels to reach 4MH. And then we're going to have to come back to 4-2 to close out this world. That is why I don't pop the catsuit early. I just am familiar with doing that itemless at the beginning, and I pretty much always get hit. So that's just the way I like to deal with it. It's not the best, but it works. So here, just getting one jump and then jumping straight up past those piranha creepers. Very nice. Using gyro very much to my advantage on this level. Also getting that checkpoint just in case I run into a spot of bother. So I'm going to be pretty much mashing R and A at the same time to get out of the water and get the Piranha Creeper out of my way. So avoiding that stamp, and also you can do a little bit of vectoring over there, even though it's kind of a 2D plane. So here, I'm actually going to be grabbing that catsuit, and the way I can grab that from the roulette block is by activating it or pressing R with the gyro as soon as I land on the ground. Oh, unfortunately losing my momentum there, but that's okay. So those islands actually work really well for practicing your vectoring. There are other levels that are really big and expansive that you can practice vectoring on, but that one's also quite nice because of the way the islands are positioned. They're sort of positioned in alternating patterns, sort of like a chessboard, in a way. So you can hop between them. Obviously, there's Piranha Creepers in the way, so you don't want to do it too much. But you can hop between them, and you will generally build up quite a bit of speed. Unfortunately, I did get hit there. Well, not hit, but I hit the enemy, which got rid of my momentum the way I hit the enemy, which is unfortunate. 4-A, we are coming on to Boulder Blockade. So this one's another very simple mini-boss. All you need to do, throw all the boulders in the lava. However, all I need to do from here is hit them all like that. Yeah, so by hitting them like that, it essentially kills them as long as I'm like clipping onto them without actually needing to throw all 3 of them, which is slightly faster. Very, very minor. And it's hard to get used to, but when you do, it does save a fraction of time. So moving on, we have another crossroads. Now, this is a very key crossroads. We can't unlock the mystery house from 4-3, which is the big block one. So we have to do Big Bounce Byway, and we're going to use Peach. You know when we use Peach, it's going to be the level of all time. We're going to be doing a big skip, basically. You can use other characters, but I prefer Peach. They're just easier. So we're going to skip the trampoline later in this level with a bit of luck. So here, I'm just going to finish off that section, grab that checkpoint. And then here, as long as I'm on the correct cycle, we're a bit late. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's fine. We're going to grab that, and then we're going to do that. That's fine. So basically what you want to do is you want to get there at a point where you can just ground pound onto that trampoline and then instantly make your way over to this section. So here, in any other run, we would actually start the trampoline early before getting into the mystery box. Here, we're not even going to use the trampoline, hopefully. Let me grab that. And then get to the end. So there are a few ways of doing that. You actually don't need to use those enemies, or that last set of enemies at all. Because there's, basically, it's cut in two, that last set of enemies, that last ring. It's basically, it feels like a semicircle, or 2 semicircles put together, because between 2 of the enemies is a very slightly bigger gap. If you get there with that gap, it's a lot harder to make, but, or at least with the setup I use. But you can also do it a different way, which is just doing fancy movement and scratching in the air to preserve momentum easier, to then just get straight to the island. But I'm not 100% consistent at that. I am better at the version I just did. But yeah, nice to skip the trampoline. It's a massive skip doing that. And here is our 10 green star reward for doing these extra levels. Not just that, but also doing those extra levels means we don't need to grab as many green stars in the rest of the run. So that is where the route differences come from between Wii U and Switch. So here we're going to be doing these rolling long jumps. Get in the box. Doing a lot of jumping around, although, again, running is quite fast with Toad here. And worth noting with mystery boxes, or mystery houses, if I fail any of these stars, we will need to start from the beginning, which is not great. However, we would be able to keep our green stars from where we were at. So say I failed on green star 10, we would have already had 9 green stars, so that is absolutely fine. And then we could technically grab a backup later, which is much faster than doing the entire rest of the mystery house again. So here is another strange one where we want to warp on the world map to get to 4-2 again. And we're going to use Luigi again. It's the same level, so we're not going to be needing any green stars this time. We are just jumping through. Nice start. Gonna try hit that, and also hit that checkpoint just in case. The checkpoint's right there, I might as well. That's not great, that's okay. Again, we have the roulette block coming up. So here, no green star. Nice. And we're going to climb up the wall. You can do this itemless, but it's much easier to just go ahead and use the cat, climb up the wall, and finish the level. So it looks like we do have the incentive for this run, which I've just been checking. It looks like, as far as I am reading, we have hit that. So I should note with mystery boxes that I was just talking about, we will be seeing another mystery house later, which I'm going to be doing itemless. And that one has 30 green stars, so that will be interesting. But yeah, we'll see how that goes later. And not just that, we also have the Captain Toad level and the Champions Road level to finish it off. So here, this is another level where we need to use gyro. Also, I should note, just because we hit the incentive does not mean you should stop donating. If you're able to donate, you should absolutely do that. Yeah, going towards a very worthy cause. So, what I need to be doing here, using gyro to move these blocks around. I actually didn't move that block there, and the reason for that is because you can just cut across. The problem is, if you fall off, if you do it wrong by doing that diagonal movement and you fall off, you have to redo the whole level because of where you fall off. So, we're doing that there, grabbing 5 green stars. We now have 74. That is key. So, we're going to go down here. Okay, so you're going to have to hear me out, alright? This might look really slow, but you're going to have to hear me out. This is faster, I promise. I promise you it's faster. So, we're going to need 80 green stars to unlock one of those Bowser statues. And I know I said earlier the Bowser statue was a slow level. This one is a very, very fast one. So we're going to come back to 1-CT. As I mentioned earlier, Captain Toad and Mystery Houses are unlocked from the beginning. We hadn't unlocked this path earlier because the bridge only unlocked after the mini-boss in World 1. And because we warped after 1-2, we could not access this level. However, we can here. So I'm actually going to be doing some routing which skips those couple of green stars at the beginning, and then we're going to grab them at the end, as long as I make it onto this lift. This lift actually would have been a wind lift using the microphone on Wii U, which there were a few of. However, in this game, there's no microphone controller, so they have been replaced with yellow lifts. Which actually is kind of bad, because that means we have to make the cycle. But very nice level there. And again, we are able to use the world map warp to go straight back to World 5. And keeping in mind, 79 green stars now. Back to World 5, and the world map warp always warps you to the first level. That is why we have started with 5-CT, so we can go straight to 5-1. This is a very interesting level if you're good at crouch boosting. So there are a couple of ways of doing this, and it's basically skipping the island. That's a shame. I'm just going to get in the clear pipe. So you can actually get in that tree there and skip getting in the clear pipe, but that's fine. Accidentally stunning that enemy there, so I dragged the cursor over rather than tapping the enemy, and what that does is it stuns it rather than actually doing a different interaction, such as popping the shell. So yeah, if you do crouch boosting, or even shell jumping here, if you're familiar with some older games, or most recently stuff like Mario Maker, you're actually able to get all the way to that island in the distance, which I've had to unlock using keys. Now, we're going to skip Green Star 2, that's another rainbow panel star, which is a bit slow here. And then, yeah, getting into that pipe. So if you wanted, you could use crouch boosting, get straight over to the island. You'd probably have to skip some stars to make it worth it here. But there are others that you could easily replace. And it's also a really cool strat. Even just a casual strat to learn if you're good at shell jumping or stuff. So this is the only Plessy we're going to get in the level, sadly. A lot of the time we are able to skip Plessy, and in those cases we will be. However, here we have to play Plessy. The stamp is over there. We're of course going to miss that. And then I'm going to get off on the left side, just because we always get off on the right. And then finishing off the level. Very close to going over that pipe there, but that's okay. Very solid. So, 5-3 is the rewards we're going to reap from doing 1-CT early. Again, Wii U, we would have done 1-CT, however, we would have waited until we're all the way at the beginning, or all the way at the end of the world, where we're actually near that warp pipe to do that. But here we have to do it early to grab those green stars. Otherwise, we'd have to do 5-2, which is very slow. It's not overly slow, but it's a lot slower than this level. So again, Mario Maker reference, if you are familiar with one-screen puzzles, it's not really much of a puzzle, but it is one screen. You get 100 seconds. I don't think we're going to need them. So here, grabbing the green star early, again, skipping these lifts that we'd normally need multiple characters for, and then getting to the end, and that's it. 13 IGT. Or the in-game time that's ticked. Very important to actually take note of that, because if I get 14, then I'm getting 86 on the timer, which is fireworks. So, I don't know, 3 seconds on a level like that, that's basically longer than the level itself, really. So now we have the mini-boss. So, 5-A coming up. And what this mini-boss is going to allow us to do is, as long as I do it right, which I've been a little bit inconsistent at recently, is hitting all 5 at once. There we go, so we got 4. That's fine. So the slightly faster and more reliable way is to go up to the top and then back down again. However, I haven't got a perfect setup for it, and I've only been able to hit it once. So I might as well just do the way that's easier for me. Plus, if I miss, it's not the end of the world. So again, hitting them with the cat pounce there's a little area of effect thing that happens. A little white circle that appears around your character. That means you can hit all of the charging chucks at once. And also, you don't have to hit them more than once. You only have to hit them one time rather than their 2 HP. So this is a nice catsuit level. Not just that, but also a very nice expansive level to practice your crouch boosting. So here, I'm not going to be doing that though. I'm going to be grabbing these clear pipes. And as long as I mash fairly fast, not the fastest, but at least to an extent, you'll be able to avoid getting hit by those fuzzies there, although it does look scary. So here there are more catsuits, we're going to avoid them though, and here I'm going to grab this green star from Bunny. I'm going to get in this pipe, and then that's going to skip a bunch of this level. And then I'm paying attention to where that star is coming up. I think I'm just going to wait for it to go back down. Yeah, I would have got hit otherwise. So basically, the way the beginning works is the fuzzies don't spawn in because they're not on camera. However, there, because I use that big cannon, all those fuzzies are on camera, so I can sort of see them. Whereas at the beginning, I don't really want that. Here, holding the platform still using the gyro. Again, gyro is busted. It's the best character in the game, what can I say? And a very nice level there, closing out all those green coins, which we're going to see a lot more of from now on. Next up, 5-6. So this is going to be a level that introduces flip panels. So if you're familiar with Super Mario Galaxy, that is where they originate from. However, here there is not a jump, not a spin jump. Oh, spin jump. There's not a spin by default for every character. That's only for Rosalina, who is unlocked post-game. Really nice there. Oh my goodness, that was good. That was solid movement. Okay, bad at the end, but it's fine. Yeah, so basically the flip panels are controlled by just jumping. Ooh, that was worrying. That's okay. So yeah, you do have to adjust to that, and also grab the green ring. Very good. So I can hold this radiation thing still. Make sure I grab that, don't fall off, and close out the level. Gonna wait for fireworks. So another one we skipped there, another green star is in that green pipe, and that's another new green star type, and it's called it's the green ball. So essentially there is a background flip panel section, which is appropriate to introduce that on that level, where you have to, the only control you have is jumping with your character. You can't move the ball yourself, you can't even use gyro, they thought about that, there is a wall there. So yeah, you have to use the flip panels to navigate the ball from the top to the bottom, and if you do it, then it hits the P switch and you get a star. But that all sounds really slow. It's fun, but slow. And also it's a bit janky and not too consistent sometimes. Anyway, here, taking a bit of a wide turn at that corner where the checkpoint is, just to make sure I keep some momentum going. Get into there, and then hit that wall with a bullet bill. Also pet the bullet bill. We have to do that. You have to pet the bullet bill there. So here we actually need to align. Unfortunately, not getting it there, but that's okay. So hitting it on the, getting on the brick would have been nice, but that's okay. So what we're able to do is get a massive jump by ground pounding, and then you can climb those grey bricks rather than have to destroy them using the bullet bills on those spotlights. So bullet bills would come towards us from those. However, we can just bypass that by climbing the grey bricks, and then the moment you get into that gap, you press X or Y, whatever your button of choice is. I use X and A. Very controversial, I know. But yeah, by pressing X, you're able to get into that wall, and also you get into the hole. Whereas if you just climbed the wall without pressing X, you would not grab the green star and you would fall straight back down. And if you did that twice in a row, you would just start falling slowly, as I mentioned earlier. So you don't want that to happen. Here we're just going to take our time grabbing these green coins. Very nice. And this is another catsuit level if I did want to grab one. However, I do have the maximum right now. If we were playing Bowser's Fury, I could have a bunch more catsuits than I do. You can hold on to loads in that game. I'm fairly sure like 5. However, here we have to have just one slot. And that's for every item. Whereas in Bowser's Fury, you can have like 5 of each item, which is very nice. So here, this is King Thunk. All we need to do is just hit him in the very deterministic position. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit by doing some Odyssey dives into him. So as long as you go in the same place every time, he's going to do the same thing every time. It's King Thunk. There's a lot of bosses that rival Boom Boom in this game for the easiest boss ever. However, if you're used to those movements and then you very slightly mess something up, it can be a little off-putting. Again, from experience. So here, we're going to get this little cutscene, and we're going to grab the flag. We're going to move on to World 6. Nice flagpole there, getting it on the 2, avoiding fireworks. Have I had any fireworks in the run so far? I think I might have had 2 sets. I think I might have had 2 sets of fireworks. That's pretty good. Anyway, pretty nice going through here. On nice pace for this run. World 5 is done. Moving on to World 6 is a very long world. And not just that, but we have a lot more catsuit levels coming up. Which is a shame they're not spread out a bit more. Because at the end of World 6 is going to be a massive catsuit drought. And not just World 6, but also most of World 7 as well. So first up, we have 6-1. Which is Clear Pipe Cruise. We're going to be trying to avoid going in the clear pipes wherever possible. The first one we will need to go in though. Well, not this one, but the next one. Or not even that one. There's so many we skip that I just forget are even there. We grab that star. We have to go in to grab that green star, and then we're going to get out. You can't get out of there because you fall in a straight line straight back down. So no point doing it there. And here I just run across. Unfortunately not preserving any momentum, so not getting any real gain from it. But basically, the the warp boxes in this game, the orange ones, you don't preserve momentum when you come out the other side. However, on Wii U, that was a thing. So it was kind of less worth doing the way I'm doing it here in this on Switch, because on Wii U it would have been less worth it, because on Wii U you'd preserve your momentum through the warp box anyway. And the same applies for mystery boxes, actually, the purple ones. Because if you have a lot of momentum coming out of there, you preserve that as well. Oh, that was really scary. In fact, yeah, I'm on a bad cycle now. Oh, okay, it's fine. We avoided the fuzzies. So, I grabbed the wall on the left side where that clear pipe was, and then I just stood on the side of it. We're getting hit there, that's fine. That is totally okay. Good thing about that is that we can completely skip having the stamina, the catsuit stamina of the flagpole, and we just get straight on there. However, I would have liked the catsuit over that tiny time save. So, next up we have, and again, that was another star skipped because it's a cloud bonus area. What can I say? They're all really slow. 6-2. I'm gonna really consider not popping my catsuit early, because last time I did that, I took damage, and then you have to do the rest of it itemless. Ironically, my gold split here... Okay, I am gonna pop it now. My gold split here does it itemless, because it took damage super early. The next level does have catsuits, though, and then immediately after, the next full level has catsuits too. So, it's fine if we have to struggle through. Now here, we are definitely going to skip the star, because it is in that warp box. And there's not just a star in that warp box, there is an entire shipwreck in there. So, by skipping that, we are able to go straight through, and not just skip that, but also a stamp. There's a stamp in there. Again, we don't need stamps in this run, so it's nice to just go straight through. Here, oh my goodness, I almost went in the hole. So the moment you go in the hole there, you will die. You can't grab any walls in there. There's no walls, you're just dead. So, very good thing that I didn't fall in. I was so sure I fell in there, honestly, but that's fine. Little bit of a slow beginning and a slow end, but the bullies are difficult to deal with. So you can use gyro on them again, and as I was mentioning earlier, they have two different interactions. You can drag the cursor onto them, which stuns them, or you can tap them, which knocks them back, which is very useful. So here we have another crossroads. There is, again, one of the best levels in the game. 6-3 on there. However, we're not going to be playing that. We're going to be doing 6-4. And there is a slightly faster cycle we can make here. And of course, every time that's a thing, we're going to use Peach. Or I am, anyway. So here, I'm going to grab one catsuit. There are two, but the other one's hard to get if you're going for the early cycle. So here, I'm going to get on this platform, build up a little bit more speed by doing that, sort of vectoring in a way. And then I'm going to climb on this pipe. I'm going to wait a little bit because I got here really quick. And then make sure I get onto that lift, or that raft. Grab this checkpoint just in case it goes awry. And then here, these green coins are really important to do well on. Really solid. Good. So here, I want to tap these piranha creepers just to get them out of my way. And then make it on this cycle. That saves waiting for an entire cycle. That is a massive time save. Upwards of 10 seconds. It's however long it takes to get the next cycle. So there is actually an earlier cycle you can make here. And that is if your name is Luigi Master. Because Luigi Master can do the early cycle there by using crouch boosting. I think, yeah, it depends. It's another one of those levels where it's easier to skip stars, but it depends, because that one in the clear pipe would kill all your momentum, so it's hard to do that one. But yeah, you can do that, and you can make an even earlier cycle. That's why I don't say one cycle there, because technically, as with everything in this game, there's always a faster way you can do it, and that is crouch boosting. Next up, 6-A. This is fairly simple mini-boss. We're just going to need to hit him into one of the pipes, and he's going to reappear in one of the others. Hopefully, that one in the bottom left. Bottom right will do, top left will do as well. If he appears on the other side, he's of course going to have to go round, which is bad. And that's the boss. So coming up 6-6, as I mentioned, there are more catsuits, and there's not just one catsuit here, there's not even just 2 catsuits, there are 3 at least. So this level is ridiculously generous. I don't know why they made this level so generous. And ironically, this is the final level for like an entire world, basically. If you add the start of World 7 and the end of World 6, to have no catsuits. So it's really bad timing. But yeah, there's one in there, and then there's one in the hidden block over there. I did just try and demonstrate them, but while I'm zooming ahead, it's really hard to do that. And then there's another one later on. But because we already have 2 catsuits, we are speeding it up a little bit. Getting the warp box saves me from getting that landing animation, very nice. And then here, the moment we get to here, in that warp box, or mystery box, I'm spinning. And then, hold on, let's get in here, please. Okay, let's go around then. Okay, cool. So, that looks tight, but basically what we're able to do is spin jump and get in there. If I miss it 3 times, then I've kind of just got to go around. Oh, let's not jump down there. Thankfully, I've done that in practice before, so that's fine as a backup. Also, mystery boxes are really generous from what you'd expect them to be. So, basically, the timer starts with 10. However, it takes a second for it to start ticking. And then when it hits 0, it takes another second to kick you out the mystery box. So it's basically 12 seconds, which is a lot more generous than 3D Land, the 3DS counterpart to this game. Which is, yeah, much more tight. The moment you hit 0, you're gone. And you are not getting your medal. Which is the equivalent of green stars in that game. So here, this is Fuzzy Time Mine, often abbreviated to FTM if you're doing the skips here, or Fast Fuzzies. Now, Fast Fuzzies essentially requires us to do the entire start section here, as in before the first camera skip, without seeing. So all this stuff, it's all spawned in. All the death crushers, all the enemies and things, they're all there, but you can't see them. And if you hit the cloud at the top, specifically one on the right, because if you hit the left side, you will probably die. There is a death barrier there before we get there. Yeah, basically you can skip a bunch of this. What we're doing is, I'm just doing as much as I really can. I'm looking at these very faint shadows just to see when I can climb. So basically, by climbing up and doing all the stuff off camera, you can get to there and then go back down and get onto that cloud with that green star, which is then the second part of it. It's not even over from the first part. However, here we are going to do some of it, which is jump up here, fall back down, grab that green star, go back up again. That one's a much easier one because you can see what you're doing. I've tried to do FTM, I've done it once from a massive fluke, and never again. So, realistically, I'm not implementing it into marathons right now. Also, the fact that if I die there, I have not hit the skip, and I only have 1 catsuit left for, as I mentioned, the entirety of the start of World 7, which is very scary. Good level, though. And moving on to 6MH, which is what I like to dub the most broken level in the entire game. This involves the baseballs. We've seen the baseballs already and what their capabilities are with the gyro controls. However, here it takes it to a whole other level. So the green stars are often just chilling in their spots. They're not actually on green star podiums. So sometimes they are, sometimes there aren't. But basically, every time the green star's just there, we can just grab it. So, a little bit of a precursor, there's the ball. So here, we're going to grab the ball, we're going to drag it down there. Key thing is to not do it too quickly, because if you do, then it's going to fall in the pit, and that means you've missed the star. Here, we actually need to do it properly. And then here, we literally don't even need the ball, we can just tap the power block, and tap the other one for good measure. And then here, actually difficult star, if you're doing it normally. Basically, you have to kick the balls into it. Into those panels in 10 seconds, or 12, but whatever. 10 makes it sound more hard. But obviously there we can just tap them using the funny hand, and then we're done. Here, one of the rare green pipes, because World 6 is so big, we actually want to go in it. And then here, very scary level if you are not familiar with cycles and things. There is there are 2 points here where we can skip the camera. The main one is in the middle. The late one we've already seen already on 2- Castle. But basically, there are Fire Bros and Hammer Bros here that you want to take out before they become a bother. They will always be in the same positions, but that doesn't make them any less scary. They're still awkward to deal with. And also we need a Bob-omb at some point to hit one of these grey bricks and grab a star. Now we can use Gyro to pop these, and the moment you pop a Bob-omb, it will then just become a bomb. And then you can grab that bomb using Gyro, or you can grab it using your character to then hit things like unbreakable grey bricks, or unbreakable using your own character. So there was a green star on there. There are Bob-ombs in there which we can normally use to make that move on. Here I'm gonna. That's fine. Okay, I was trying to hit the Fire Bro using that Bob-omb, but that's okay. We're fine out of it. So here we're just gonna throw it at that grey brick, which I understand we can't see right now. And then as long as I don't fall in the pit, which is possible, we're gonna be able to skip the camera there. Now the key thing with that camera skip is that you don't want to be jumping too high above the camera, because when you do that, you are going to move in a direction you're not aiming for. And we're going to probably see it again here. So basically, whenever you are above the camera on these levels, I'm only holding up and right there, but the shadow, very, very tiny, noticeable shadow, the game just says no, basically, and it just moves you on. Unfortunately, yeah, I want to hit him on the head there, but I'd rather not get hit. So I'll just take the tiny bit of time loss for hitting with the cat scratch. So here he doesn't turn invisible, he has clones. Clones, very original concept in this game, which they use a lot. And then here we hit him with that for the last one. So yeah, you do want to be careful with auto-scrollers like that, because if you go above the camera, the game wants to keep you in bounds, so you want to be very careful you're not getting thrown off the level, because that can happen. Make sure we avoid fireworks, and we're done. So we're not quite done with World 6 just yet, because we have 6-B, which is another mini-boss. Now that mini-boss is going to be Motley. Now, we saw Histocrat earlier. Histocrat's really free. However, Motley is a lot harder to deal with. However, we know a strat that we can use to really mess with him. So the item of choice here is the double cherry. We are going to be grabbing some, or I am personally, because I prefer it just to play a little safe. Honestly, not grabbing them means if you get hit, you get hit. However, if you have a cherry and you get hit, you are going to pretty much lose the clone. So it doesn't matter too much. That is so funny. Let's not change controllers. Let's try again. Getting hit by the candle. That is a first. At least on this level. So here, we want to go up to the boss. And then we want to run around the outside. So basically, if you run or even just walk around the outside, I know Toad is very fast, so walking works too. If you walk around the outside, you will avoid getting hit, and also the boss, the real boss, rather than the blobs, will go towards the center every time. So this works for every version of Motley. There are 3 in this game. There is normal Motley, there's Gold Motley, which we're going to see later in World 8. One of the last mini-bosses we'll see. And there's also Cherry Motley. So Gold and Cherry spawn in radiation waves, which are going to make us take damage if we hit them. However, on the Gold one, is actually slightly harder. The reason for that is because, yeah, this is why the Cherries lose a bit of time, because we've got to get through with all of them. Yeah, so managing to get through there, that is fine. And then finishing off there. So yeah. That is the level. Unfortunately, losing a bit of time for that candle mishap, but that's okay. Okay, so moving on, we have Ward 7. So World 7, there is, again, not many catsuits coming up. So, oh, let's get on that clear pipe, that's fine. So, going in the left side here, stun that fire bro, we're able to get through, finish that off, very nice. Spawn in that warp box, and then again, one of the green stars up there, which is a green ball, which are slow. And then there, the fire bro actually realizes, hold up, you're not in the pipe, so I'm going to fire straight at you. So good to be aware of that one. And it's actually fast to skip this pipe if you do stuff like crouch boosting, but I'm not, so we're not going to do that. And also you can skip from this island to the next one without killing that fire bro. It saves 1 second. So, not going to do that. Also, it looks like you get hit there. Thankfully, when you're on a flagpole, you will not get hit. So, pretty solid. Very nice level. And then moving on to 7-3. It's a fast level, so we are going to be playing that over 7-2. However, that doesn't make it easy. This level should be easy on paper. However, when you realise that that said paper in question does not reflect that these boost pads are on different elevations. So, I'm going to go onto these. And then there is a very high chance that we get at least 1 dropped input on this level. If I do, I'm going to try not to panic. It happened last time I did a marathon run. It just always seems to happen. You just have to pray that it's in a place like Green Coins where it's not as much of an issue. Even then, you can still die. So yeah, here's really the only big optimization other than not getting skill issued by the missed inputs. And then here at the end, we're going to finish off the level. And that's it. No dropped inputs. Wow. Very nice. Thank you, game. Very generous. So, thankfully, that means we're going to have 2 catsuits for 7-4. Imagine. That's actually really nice. Having 1 on this level is so scary. Because if you take damage, you are stuck to itemless. And itemless has ruined me in the past. On this level, it's difficult. Main reason is just difficulty in this game correlates to less platforms, and there are definitely less platforms on this level, purely from them rising and falling in the lava. So here, oh, not getting too much momentum building up at the beginning, so I'm going to be on weird cycles now, but that's fine. Gonna grab that green ring, and then grab these green coins. Then here, I want to try and make it onto this island with the stamp. Very nice, and we avoided the stamp too. So if you get the edge there, which is even harder, you will avoid the stamp and you will avoid having to deal with any of that. Just fall off, because why not? Again there, I would be charging up momentum if I was on Wii U, but it doesn't matter here. There, Luigi has a high jump, so we can just go straight through. And then here, gonna get onto there, grab that other green star, get in the green pipe, and then at the end... Oh no, we have 3 more bullies to kill. We already had loads to deal with in World 6. Oh, never mind. We're just going to skip them. And that's the level. So if you kill them, a big platform arises on the left, so you can jump across. Or just walk across, really. But there, we don't need that. We can just go across. And there is quite a nice level to use Peach for, because you have the float. However, Peach is really slow. So you don't want to use Peach many times. I used to use Peach a lot. Since changing to Luigi and Toad, I've seen general time saves on most levels. Of course, that makes it riskier. So if you die, that's bad. But other than that, it's a good thing to do. So 7-A, we're going to change to Toad. And there is RNG involved here. I'm going to try and get a 1 cycle. So that is going to involve killing off these 3 boulders. The boss boulder is going to move a little bit. That is going to kill that one, I am fairly sure. Yeah, I saw the grey. We are going to take damage. Never mind, it didn't die. Okay, now I just need to not take damage myself. Because if I do, then I am going to lose the boulder. Of all places to take damage, the point when I don't have the boulder is completely fine. So that 1 cycle saves us a bunch of time. saving me 9 seconds apparently. So, very nice to hit that. It is literally just RNG. However, the boss does move at you, so I try to stay safe, like, so I'm not falling off, but also that boss has those 2 fireballs coming after you. So here, thankfully, this is the one level with a cat suit. So I can pop the other one, climb up the wall, and then we can... Oh, let's not do that. Okay, now we're going to have to wait for the platform. That's okay. Grab that one. Still faster than going round. So grab this green star, and then we can go round the inside. Grab this green star, and then we are going to skip this lift by doing a massive rolling long jump down. Onto here, get that landing. There's a way of avoiding that, but I'm not doing it there. So here, we're on a really early cycle. I'm going to skip a key, which means the camera is going to pan a bit less when we reach the escape sequence. Sorry, spoilers, there is an escape sequence here. I'm not going to be able to hit that one because I'm actually going too fast, but that's fine. We will try to avoid it here. And then all the rest are gone, so that's fine. Really good to kill all of them as early as possible in this level. If you leave all of them to their own devices, you are probably taking damage. Or you're going slowly. One of the two. And that's it. So I kind of just like it where if you grab that final key not last, it makes it so the escape sequence starts before the camera pan. I just prefer that, and also it's technically a little bit faster, as in frames again. But frames are frames. We have to save them. That's really just what we're doing in total, except just lots more frames. So, here, 7 Captain Toad. This is a very gyro-heavy Captain Toad level. In fact, we don't require it, but it is probably the next best example of gyro Captain Toad levels compared to 5-CT, which actually requires it. So here, we're going to have to make an entire lap of the perimeter of the level. And then we're going to avoid that bullet bill just for a little bit of safety later on. And then here, I'm going to hold these thwomps still when I feel it's best to do that. So there, that one's fell. I want to get on there. And then that one has risen to the top, so I want to hold it still again. This one, I'm going to hold still when it reaches the top. Again, you want to hold them still the moment they reach the top or the bottom, because the moment they start rising or falling, you cannot do what you want. They have to be fully at the bottom or fully at the top. And that was a very solid completion. Basically perfect. At least for me. So finishing it off there and grabbing 5 stars. Next up is 7-7. This is a very important level to be practicing. This is one I used to practice a lot on Wii U, purely because of the way that game works with stuff like cat momentum. So you basically had to do a dive and then cat scratch before you landed, which is really hard to do to speed up your momentum while you're also trying to avoid these lava, the bits of lava on this level. So here we're going to grab this green star, dive down there, grab that green coin and dive in the other direction just to start moving the other way, and then in the clear pipe. That was solid, very good. And then we're going to see these massive instant kill enemies. Bear that in mind later on. Gotta grab that green star, a little bit of a generous hitbox. And then here, we're going to activate this enemy. Now, I can go around that clear pipe. However, it is really risky for a very, very minor time save. If you go round, thing is with using Peach, you're able to go round and obviously use the float jump. However, there is a pretty big hitbox or area of activation where that enemy will still come out. And again, another enemy from Mario Galaxy. So if that enemy comes at you and you hear that that trigger, you are not guaranteed to get hit, but you could get hit, depending on where you are. Even then, if you avoid that activation barrier, you are probably going to have to do a massive jump between the platform before the clear pipe and the one after. And even if you do pull it off, you're going to have to avoid the other ones that appear. So yeah, it's a difficult one to do for what it's worth. So here, we actually need to sacrifice a catsuit for this boomerang. We're going to need it later on as well. Going to use the catsuit to get up here. And unfortunately getting a dropped input there, which means I wasn't able to do what I wanted, which was a dive. That's a shame. Okay, so later, 8-1 has catsuits, so that is fine. We'll be able to grab some more later. It means we can't do a little jump here. So actually you can jump from here to the end island over there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. But even then, in order for me to do that, I am not very good at doing it with Toad because there's no float jump. So I wouldn't go for it anyway. Okay, so here, this is a boss from World 1. However, we didn't see it in One Dash Castle because we, of course, had... Oh, no, let's not roll forward. That's bad. I'm going to have to take my time here now. So, yeah, this is recycled from World 1. Basically, every time you move forward, he's going to attack you either with a football or a fireball. Now, we need a certain number of fireballs before we can fire the footballs back. And then we can use gyro to hit them back in his face. If you kick them at him, you will hit the car. And if you hit the car 3 times, you get points. However, if you hit him in the face, you get points straight away. So that means if you hit him 3 times in the face, the boss is done. Whereas if you hit him 9 times on the car, the boss is done. That is the same on the World 1 version. However, there are a lot more footballs rather than fireballs. Also there, the fact that I rolled forward was bad because it made the Bowser move really far backwards very quickly, and there were some gaps in the floor in the distance where if you reach those, Bowser will have to jump over them. You're going to have to avoid some fire geysers, and then also if you take far too long, you're going to end up having to transport from one island to the next, because it's basically a never-ending boss fight until it ends. At the final hit. It's a never-ending until it ends, pretty much. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Kind of like the infinite staircase, almost, from Mario 64. So, moving on, we have the unskippable cutscene there. That is actually unskippable in this version. Coming up, though, I am actually able to show you what the clear pipe is in question when I talk about that out-of-bounds clip. Now, there is a version in this game which involves 3 controllers. You're advised to have at least 2 pro controllers to do it. And it basically involves it involves bubbling on the world map. And if you bubble one of the characters off the map, you're able to clip out of bounds and then do the same thing, fall onto the World 4 Mystery House Island. That is why there is a new miscellaneous category which allows multiple controllers on any percent. There are other categories that do allow it. So, for example, 380 stars allows multiple controllers. Of course, 100% does. Not true 100%, but normal 100% where you can use 4 at once to get multiple clears. That does allow them. But on main any percent right now, you're not allowed. However, because of that new skip, they are now contemplating, or the community is now contemplating offering that as an option. So for now, it's just a miscellaneous category. While we find out if there's more people that want to run it. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so I thought I was going to get a lot more distance over to that block than I did. So that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to respawn here. We're going to grab this catsuit, just so we get back up to 2. There are not that many for a while here. And I'm then going to have slightly different cycles to deal with. There we go. So that's what I was after. So the turnaround there is quite hard to hit. But if you do that, it's quite flashy to do. And also saves a bit of time. Really, really minimal time loss for that death. Only about 20 seconds. So we have another crossroads. 8-2 is actually Plessy. And that is a level I used to do on Wii U. And also early days of me doing Switch. However, because of the base speed increase in this game, it's faster to do 8-3. It was on Wii U, but I wasn't that much faster at it, so I just did Plessy, just to be safe. And also, Plessy has 3 green stars, whereas here we're just going to be getting 2. We're going to skip green star 3. So yeah, this is Cookie Cogworks. This is one of the only levels where you're kind of required to go past the flagpole to grab one of the green stars. Let's actually not miss that one. Oh, I actually didn't fall on the platform. I thought I did there. So I was only operating on a low stamina. That's fine. Moving on. We will grab this green star in the mystery box. And here I'm going to make sure I don't use gyro, at least on the cylinder, because if I do, it's going to pause the cylinder, and we're not going to be able to progress. So next, we are going to finish off the level. However, here there is a little interesting thing going on with this clear pipe. So straight away, we are done. In the distance is that island. That's where Green Star 3 is, with the bunny. So that clear pipe, the way it works, and the way all clear pipes work with launchers, is there are two parts. The launcher and the actual base of the clear pipe. So the clear pipe itself is on a lower altitude, I guess, than the base. Oh, not the base, the launcher. So the launcher, when we land on the launcher, it's actually going to make us fall a little bit to get onto the base of the clear pipe. So you want to make sure you are watching out for that when that happens. It's of course not, it doesn't do that much because it doesn't happen for very long. It's basically however long it takes to go from the sprint speed, which is where the orange sparks appear, to then fall on the base and then the orange sparks appear again. So yeah, it's really not very long, but it's fine. Anyway, here we're allowed to grab this power-up. In fact, even in item list, you're allowed to grab this power-up because it is only temporary. And then on this level, we can pretty much just go around the edge. We can go around the edge as long as I don't fall. I was ready for that to happen, thankfully, but yeah, we're good. And then we'll go on the inside. The top has the stamp, so we're just going to avoid that. Well, that's annoying. That's fine. I'm just going to go through here without doing anything weird. Yep, good. Okay, cool. So, finishing off 8-train, we have this early hit. I think this is going to make me take damage rather than an actual hit. Okay, never mind. I didn't do the full thing. That's fine. We're operating on one catsuit for 2 very hard levels. We'll see how it goes. I have not had a single hit. Wow. All 4. All 5 even, because I didn't get that early hit there. All 5 I missed in this run. That's the level. Okay, so 8-4, there are lots of platforms that are missing. I'm actually going to go silent for some of this just to make sure I don't fail, especially because I'm only on one catsuit. If I fail and I lose the catsuit, I could reload my save file, but that will probably be quite slow. And also, there's no guarantee I do the level again and keep it. But also, on 8-6, I need the catsuit to do a skip. So I hope I do this correctly. Basically, these platforms are all missing. I'm just going to play safe. Normally I do a little Odyssey dive on the ground there, but it's a bit risky. I thought I took damage there. Wow. Okay, so these spiked bars, it pauses all of them. So you do have to watch out for that. I normally take damage to those, so honestly, I'm even now. I'm even for catsuits. And then here, nice cut. And then there, not doing what I did last time, which is get stuck in the pit and take damage to the swamp. Very silly mistake. So actually, yeah, I kind of am even compared to last last run. Okay. Good level. We are still on one catsuit, so that means we can attempt the skip. And the skip in question involves Peach. We can use other characters, which would be faster. However, I prefer Peach. Peach has the float. If we, for some reason, don't get a jump off of one of these candles, then we have the float to back it up a little bit. So, I'm going to play it quite safe. But basically, the first section, we want to skip a bunch of the level. And then the second, where the candles are, or the last bit, we want to use the candles to jump on. The problem with using that is that the candles have, like... Hold on, let me just do this first. The candles are basically kind of sloped. They're not sloped in that you can't jump on them, but they're sloped in that you are not supposed to be able to jump on them, in a way. So you can jump on them, and they do appear there, and also here, but they are difficult, basically. Now, this is the final star that would have been a backup in my Wii U route, but here, from now on, we're grabbing all 3 green stars, so it is very important I get this. Use that rolling long jump into there, and I have to use the box here. That was scary. The boos were coming towards me there. Thought I was taking damage. Oh. Okay, we're fine. So here, do a jump, get out there, and then get in the door. And then here, I'm literally not even going to do any of the risking it. I mean, even doing the strat is risking it, but yeah. So here, because we're on the wall, I can then press left on the right stick to change the camera. Let's get back down there. Oh, let's not do that. And then right at the end on that last pole is a bit of a barrier that doesn't block. It blocks you more than the others. And that is the level. I'm going to grab gold flag because I find it easier. Not the biggest skip that I've done, but that's fine. Last time I did the big thing where you fall off the platform straight away. You do 3 cat scratches and hover, and then you grab the wall. You are so close to the death barrier at the bottom. And last time I just completely messed it up and died. And I only had 1 cat soak because of my mishap in 8-4. So I am very much happy with pulling it off. Very good. I've only had 1 or 2 PBs that I've had that. So next up is a Mystery House Claw Climb. This is a level we are going to see later on, or some of these, but slightly harder. So you notice it says Mystery House Claw Climb. Doing stuff like this itemless is of course not intended, but we are going to attempt it because we have, as far as I'm aware, hit the incentive. So here we need to pretty much climb above all of these. Get that green star, very nice. And here, this is the same one as before, but just climbing up for longer. So in itemless any percent, we would actually be doing this level. However, it's encouraged on the beginner route, or intermediate, I'm not sure. Might also be beginner, that you do 9 stars here. And the reason for that is because the last one is very unforgiving. That last one in question is also basically the exact same one we're going to see in World Crown Itemless Asterisk. So yeah, it's a thing. And not only that, but there are like 4 hard green stars in a row. So it's this one. So without climbing, this one's very hard because you have to do a ground pound or whatever, or jump, and then like wall jump, and then rolling dive once you turn around. But if you do it too early, you'll dive in the wrong direction and you're guaranteed to fail. And if you do it in the right direction, but to the other sort of wrong timing, if you do it too early, or too late rather, you're going to just bonk. It's a very, very precise one to do. Okay, so here, one of the rare levels I'm going to be using Tanuki. So Tanuki's going to allow us to skip a lot of this level. I used to use Peach here, which would skip more of this section. However, the skip I'm hopefully going to pull off later is going to outperform that massively. So here, just going to go down here, grab that green star, fall down with 2 dives just to make sure we don't get the landing. Almost went in the lava. And then grab that Tanuki suit. So some people use Tanuki suits actually more than I do because they're quite nice for saving time in some levels compared to Cat. So, oh no. Okay, that's fine. We're going to have to do it normally. That's okay. So basically what I want to do is do a... I think I'm still on PB pace, even with that, because the checkpoint's right there. So basically, the Tanuki allows us to do a massive jump all the way down to the bottom. I genuinely don't think that loses that much time. So that's totally fine. But yeah, we still have a cat from the last level, having 2 cat suits. Actually, yeah, that's the thing I didn't speak about. That last level, that mystery house, has 2 cat suits at the beginning in those boxes. Probably because they want you to climb, and if you take damage, then you're done. Okay, so here we are just trying to stay on. I again used to use Peach here, which is a lot nicer because you can back it up in the odd situation where you can do that. But if you fall off the wrong way, as I've just seen, or as I've just demonstrated very conveniently, that is not always that easy. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Okay, just wait for it to get to the top. And then I'm just going to go. Nice. So that skip, if I hit it, it doesn't save as much time as 8-6. If I had died on 8-6, I would not have been on PB pace anymore. That loses about 25. And honestly, I think one of the deaths earlier lost about 20. Was it 8-1? So that's actually not that bad. All we have left in the run now, though, is 2 mini-bosses and the final fight, which is otherwise dubbed as Meowser. So each of these is going to give us 1 green star, and that completes our 170 requirement. We're going to use Toad on Motley Boss Blob again. So as I mentioned earlier, this is Gold Motley. Gold Motley is going to have radiation waves come towards us. And they are slow, which is supposed to be easier to deal with. However, that kind of makes it harder, because as you're going to see right now, we have a bunch of them in our way all at once. Whereas on the Boss Blitz fight, which is in World Flower, a post-game level, Cherry Motley is the same, functionally, except the rings go much faster. And also technically much further, I think. The thing with that is that they get out of your way so fast, so it doesn't even matter. Either way, we're just running around the edge as I did before, and then he'll always go towards the centre. I'm just mainly paying attention to the rings, honestly. The boss fight here is the rings. It's not really the Motley. Oh, I took damage from all 3 of them. That's a shame. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the cat suit on the next level, which is actually in a hidden block. So there is a hidden block cat suit on the next one. I am going to be grabbing... I'm going to be grabbing that, yeah. So this is Histocrat, another rematch. Essentially just a reskin of the exact same boss fight. So moving over here. The question mark block is still there. However, the question mark block just has a coin. So we now need to head over to the hidden block that is on this version, which is here. Grab that cat. It's not going to save time on this level, however, it's going to make it a bit easier for my final boss fight, because I'm going to start off with a cat rather than having to grab one. As long as I don't take damage there. The way I ground pounded quite early there, where the boss was basically facing me. So that was a bit scary. That's fine. Okay, second hit there, done. And the final one. That's the boss. So, of course, the final fight, we don't need to grab any more green stars because we have unlocked everything. Similarly to Mario Kart DS, actually, we don't need to do anything on the last set of levels or level because we've gone full circle. And yeah, Luigi being slippery there, that's fine. I'm trying to avoid fireworks, and it's meaning I'm having to avoid 3 different sets. That's fine, we've done it. So, I'm still barely ahead. So as long as I am able to do the camera skip in Meowser, we are going to get a PB. If not, I think I can still sub 140, and I've only ever had 2 sub 140s right now. Sub 140 is like the main goal people go for in this game. And the estimate for this was 150, so that ties in nicely with the incentive. Gives me a little bit more time. So we're going to use Luigi here. Going to skip this cutscene. So this is a massive lift. We can't really do this moonshot. It's not really worth it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. That was a bit fast. Let's not do that. Yeah, I went far too fast. And because I cat scratched in the air, I sort of preserved my momentum from it. I was not expecting that. Okay, that's fine. So here, I'm going to go around, and of course I have a cat suit already. There is one in the question mark block up there, but because I already have one, I don't need to go up there and get it. That's why it was faster on Histocrat. So, this first boss fight, or the first part, there's not really much we can do. However, there is a skip, probably quite an infamous skip in this game, Meowser skip, where basically you would, where Captain Toad was just standing before that lift, if you use crouch boosting and stuff in this version, you can build up a bunch of speed, get all the way over to here, and land on the clouds. Now, the clouds aren't actually visible until a certain point, but they do appear if you do the skip. The problem is, if you do the skip in this game, it's harder. They made it harder to do the skip. And also, you can skip the cutscene where Bowser transforms into Meowser anyway, so it saves even less time. Plus, it skips the music, and we're not going to skip the music. We've got to listen to the music. They worked hard to make this. So yeah, there's not much we can do here. We can progress the same as I've been talking about in Fuzzy Time Mine and stuff like that, doing the FGM skip. However, there is a barrier that we have to reach a certain point with the camera before we can go past. It would be a bit silly, really, if we were able to hit the power block and the cycle finished without Bowser actually being there, to be fair. So that's that one. And then this is the final part. Now I'm going to focus a little bit here. I need to listen to sound cues, or whatever people do, really. People do it different ways, but I listen to sound cues. I need to go on the left-hand side, but not fully left, to make sure I'm hitting all the clouds in that path. Some of them also move, so if I take a while, it's going to be bad. If I do this, it's probably a PB. Wow, that was very fast. Okay, I did not know where I was, and that's because I was doing it very well. Okay, nice. That, as long as I don't die now, that should be a PB. So we can also skip the camera a little bit on these stairs. That was a bit slow there. Thanks up for the Meowser, I guess. Camera skip. So here we need to get past there, make sure we don't get hit. There are no barriers here. You can die. You have to do the entirety of this cycle again. That is bad. Don't do that. Also here, we don't just get 3 hits, we get 4. And I think we might just be getting a PB, because I might just know exactly how long we've got left of the run. So, timing is going to end when points appear on the flagpole. Kind of a nice quirk of this. Again, unskippable cutscene, but quite nice. So, we're going to get to the end, and points appear quicker if we either don't have an item, or if we get golden flagpole. Gold flagpole makes them appear instantly. So it saves having to lose all of your stamina. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to climb, I'm going to get as high up on the flag, and then the moment I get gold flagpole, or if I lose stamina, that is when timing ends. And that is a PB. It should be. Time! 1:39:08. Massive. Also, a gold on the end. Of course it was. As a massive camera skip. So, that's the run. However, it's not over yet. We have an incentive. We have World Crown itemless. So I'm going to need to head off and do that. Thankfully, we have a way of skipping the credits. They're not very long credits, but we can skip them. So I'm going to head through here and literally just mash plus and minus, and we're done. So I'm now going to go and set up World Crown itemless. So the way that works is essentially World Crown itemless is not a real thing. If you go on the leaderboards, it doesn't exist. And the reason for that is you can't do World Crown itemless because there is 1 star in the mystery house where you have to grab the fire flower to light the candles. So here what we're going to do is I'm going to go on the Captain Toad level. I'm actually going to... yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back up to full-size Luigi first. Which is... It basically happens just by timing out or dying. So that's fine. Easy enough for us to do. You die, you get back up to full-size Luigi. That doesn't count as well for itemless. Itemless, you're allowed mushrooms. You're allowed to die intentionally or do whatever to get back up to your super form. And also, you are allowed mushrooms and checkpoints. Checkpoints also restore you to super. So, we're going to start off with Captain Toad. This has a 15-minute estimate. 3, 2, 1, go. So, instantly we're going to start off with Captain Toad. There are 3 levels to this. Captain Toad, Mystery House Marathon, which is 30 green stars in a row, no fails. And Champions Road. So here we're going to restart for an early cycle. We are then going to get onto the other platform, grab that, and then I'm going to try and knock this fireball back at the piranha plant. There we go. That's not the intended way of killing him. What we're supposed to do is go up to that hole and then drop onto his head. But what we can do is just kill him like that. So we're going to try and make a couple of early cycles here. First off, we're going to get that star. We're going to go here. Get all the way up to the top. I'm going to grab the stamp because why not? Just so we can actually 100% this. And then next up, we're going to do that. This is a bit risky. You know what? I'm going to wait because I went a bit too late there. So basically, you want to start moving from here once the lava starts rising. But these grey platforms will always, they're falling into the lava. Those ones. So we do not want to get hit. Losing a bit of time for waiting a cycle, but of course the biggest time loss is dying. So that's the easy bit done. Now we have the 2 difficult ones. So there are most of these stars here are actually easy, but there are 4 in a row that are really hard. If we fail again, we have to do it all again. So you might notice, as soon as we get going here, these stars spawn in slightly quicker, or these mystery boxes spawn in slightly quicker than in the main game. And the reason for that is because, let's grab that, very nice. Reason for that is we've already completed this. This is a 380 stars save file. So we're able to just go through and do that. Here, we need Fire Flower. I'm sorry, okay? We need Fire Flower. There's no other way of doing this. That is why itemless technically doesn't exist. And we're going to take damage straight away. So that allows us to carry it on as itemless. You saw nothing. You saw absolutely nothing. No fire, Luigi. That wasn't a thing. Okay, so here we can just tap the same crate every time. It's always the same one. Here, we want to just hit all of the mini Goombas. All of the Goombas. Here is the funny ball into the star. So a lot of these we've already seen. Some of them are unique to this mystery house, but a lot of them we've already seen. So this one is literally just an extra swamp. And then here we're going to be using Ice Momentum. And then this is where the hard stars start. So instantly I'm going to be doing a spin jump. Alright, that's bad. That's really bad. Okay, it's fine. Cool. So as I was mentioning earlier, a little bit generous because it doesn't time out until a second into 0. So that's fine. There, hitting all these bricks just to get them out of my way. Again, doing some fairly late dives there because you have to wait until you turn around. Another fairly difficult one, although as long as you're good with your timings, it's fine. And then these spots actually do have items. However, because I'm super, they will have cat suits. So I'm, of course, not grabbing them because that's banned. That is the other one that's kind of hard because I need to do it late. Gonna do a spin jump here. Gonna do a spin jump here. Get in. Thank you. Oh, okay, we're nice. We're in. I actually, the scary thing about that is I failed that in the main one earlier. And that one doesn't have a bit where you can climb around. Well, it does, but we're not using cat. There we go. That was a funny ball hit. That's fine. Technically, you can use gyro there, but it's a bit funky. So here, one of these I'm going to knock in, and the other one I'm going to roll into, which is a faster or harder knockback. So here, I can do a ground pound. As long as I'm super, all I need to do is wall jump. However, if I wasn't super, I'd need to activate the other bricks there. Very nice. Here, I want to just hit these two, just to make sure I don't get hit. Don't want to be doing the rest of this on no other items. And then here, this is a bit weird. You want to be hitting all of these, making sure you hit the piranha plant at the end as well. The problem is, and it actually did make me throw quite a lot of time in one of my first 380 star runs, which does feature this level. You want to make the piranha plant be like right in front of the fuzzies. Even if it isn't, if it's positioned in a certain way, it's just not going to hit them. So there, as long as I start wall jumping from the correct side, we will be able to just instantly get up to the bricks. If you wall jump from the wrong side there, you are probably getting hit by bullet bills. And also not just that, but the bullet bills are hitting the grey bricks. So it makes it a very awkward area. And then here, we are going to grab the stamp because why not? Make sure I don't do the wall jump, rolling long jump at the end, because that would be a death. And, you know, green star 30, even though it's basically free, it still counts. So here, as I've been mentioning through the run, the warp warps us to the main level, or the first level, which here is Champions Road. And I could just use Peach. I could just use Peach's Float, which is technically not an item. However, that wouldn't be fun, would it? We're going to use Luigi. So this is the final level of the incentive. This should take me minimum of a few minutes. However, it could take however long it takes, because there are no checkpoints here. So here, going to get a little wall jump and rolling dive into there. So I actually kind of like doing the beat block section fast, just to be safe. Okay, well that wasn't very safe. You can tell from me going deathly silent. But yeah, it's fine. We live in, we live in. So there are no items here anyway. But of course, cat suits are a thing in this game. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're fine. You can wall jump on those, but yeah. These spike bars are very awkward. I am actually worried that I've paused that in that position. No, no, let's pause you again. Okay, let's just take our time here. Let's just take our time. So, of course, gyro is still allowed. Oh my goodness, I thought I fell in the gap. Oh. Okay, we're fine. I have to take my sweet time there to not take damage, honestly. That is a hard section. So here, normally we'd be able to climb the wall. This is why itemless makes this so much harder. So here, we'd actually be able to climb the wall on the left side of the water bubble and skip this entire section, Champions Road skip. Actually, in my 380 stars PB, which ends on this level, basically, I was behind by a fair margin, and the only way of PBing, which I realised like 5 seconds before this section, was to do Champions Road skip with this water bubble. And lo and behold, I got like a 15-second PB, which is still my current PB, and I cannot believe it PB'd. Also, this is a 3D plane, so you can fall out of the front of this bubble. That is mean, but it can happen, and I'm sure it has happened lots of times. So here, again, I want to make sure that I do this properly, that I freeze these where beneficial. But yeah, scary in the end. Oh, come on! I was trying to freeze the other one. No, we're going to have to do it all again. So, ironically, the last time I did this incentive, that is where I died. Except it was in the key section. So yeah, I did a really baby hop there, just by tapping jump. I was panicking. That's fine. We'll speed through. So again, 15-minute estimate for this incentive. And I believe I've finished both runs a little ahead, so... yeah, it's fine. That's how I'm supposed to do that. It looks a bit scary doing that roll, but you sort of just clip onto the platform. Whoa, moon jump. Alright, let's do this fast this time, see what we can achieve. Nice. It's not often that I do that damages. Even if I'm doing it with catsuit and jumping over everything. Problem is, in 380 stars, I would benefit from using Luigi. Like, I would save a little bit of time, a few seconds probably, but I prefer using Peach. But here, it would just kind of defeat the point of itemless. I might as well let the gyro cursor disappear, to be honest. The thing is, I keep the cursor on the screen so much during this run because I need it for so much of it that if I didn't realise it wasn't there, I'd have to tap once to get it on there and then the other time to actually use it, which would just throw me off more. So it's just muscle memory to keep it on the screen basically at all times. Oh my goodness. Okay. Explanation. So, the reason that happened is the classic pause frames. Whenever you take damage or whenever you grab a power-up in a lot of Mario games, you get pause frames. And the pause frames in question are where I jumped. The problem is... okay, for some reason getting a sprint there. Sometimes that happens. Oh well, that's fine. I'll take it. Yeah, obviously there, I didn't want to do the same mistake as last time, doing a baby jump, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to commit, and if I've not got it, then I'm just going to have to deal with it, and unfortunately I'm now in the deal with it phase, so, yeah, it's a shame, but whatever, we go again. Oh no. Okay. The only good thing about that is I don't need to worry about fuzzies now. Okay. You do have to worry about spike bars. Right. We've still got enough time to finish under 15 minutes. Let's do the wall jump. Oh, let's do another one because I fell really far. Backups, people, backups. Very useful. Unfortunately, I don't really have that many in the boost pads, but maybe that's something to work on, I don't know. Okay. Let's do that. No, let's do that. Oh no. Oh no. Come on, I thought I was making that platform. It's fine. If I do need to get timed out for this incentive, then do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to draw a line somewhere. Oh, did that a bit late there. Actually kind of worked out because I kept my momentum going. Okay, let's not take damage to this Kamek this time. Oh my goodness, I was taking it so slow. Come on. I don't benefit from taking this slow. I do it so fast in 380. Alright, come on. We've done so well. We've got a PB in any percent. We've got to close this out with a completion. I'm gonna give this like 1 or 2 more attempts. And not having an item here isn't ideal, but we'll go for it. I've done it before plenty of times with no item. It's almost like there's more pressure, and so I put more into it. Deep dive into there. Okay. Come on. 3rd time's the charm. Just gonna wait there. I haven't even got to the keys before today. Like, how? The other one came over. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh my god. Where's the other one? Oh, I'm so confused. Oh no. I lost where the other one was. Where was the other one? Okay, one more go. Because that's basically it. All we're missing is like the thank you pipes at the end. So, at least I've shown off the keys now. Okay. We're restarting. One more. This is it. If I die from here, that's it. I'm calling it. So I'm not delaying the marathon after finishing Edge of Estimate 2 times. Okay, I was so worried I died there. That would have been very anticlimactic. Okay, cool. No, let's not. Let's not. Okay, good. That platform's going to spawn in early because I let that go earlier. Okay. Power up would be very useful here. Thank you. Oh my god, I did it again. I wasn't paying attention to the other spikes. It's fine, it's fine. Stopped a bit early there, whatever. Yeah, so of course, because we don't have Katsu, I have to do this water bubble every time. It's the only way I'm doing this. Otherwise we could skip it. Regardless of how long this takes, I'm going to do shoutouts during the thank you, just to save a bit of time. Because I know how long this is taking me now. Okay. We got one more go. 4th time's the charm. No one's ever heard that one, but we're going with it. god, I'm never here at that moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, right. I'll take it. We're alive. Nope, you are not using that right now. I'm on such a weird cycle, by the way. You are still doing the thing. Oh, come on. Okay, we're done. Right. Okay, I don't know why the other energy thing was still going, but that is it. I'm not doing it anymore. It would take me like over 20 minutes. That's not happening. But yeah, quick shouts. Thank you. Yeah, if you want to check out this game, there's a Discord for 3D Odd and Bowser's Fury in one. So check it out. Lots of helpful advice and stuff, and movement options and things that the people teach you. Skips and camera skips and things. So yeah, that's about it. Check me out on Twitch. I do runs of this. I do runs of other games, like obviously Mario Kart DS from earlier. Yeah, so lots of stuff. And yeah, love to see you stop by. We do also do community days, quiz days, if that's your thing. Stick around for the marathon though, lots more runs coming up for the next day or so. But yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you for donating for the incentive. Sorry it couldn't happen. That is literally it after those keys. It's a walk box and clear pipes that say thank you. So we didn't miss much. But yeah, thank you for letting me be on the marathon, and stick around for the next runs.